In your show, Making a Millionaire, you mentioned that cash can be a wealth builder when used to buy undervalued assets in a downturn. At what point is keeping cash on the sidelines an attempt at market timing?
Oh, that's a solid question.
I love this
I think
question.
it's an interesting question.
And Brian, you and I have talked about this exhaustively over the years, and I'd love to get your take. For those of you who aren't familiar, though, Shane referenced something, Making a Millionaire. It's a brand new show that we've released that comes out every other Monday morning. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, you're not going to know when we have new episodes coming out, and we have all kinds of different guests come on, and we basically get to do a deep dive into millionaires and millionaires in the making. So if you've not checked that out, make sure you go check out those episodes. But Shane is right. One of the things that we did say in that episode is that having additional cash, additional powder money can be a wealth builder when volatility or opportunity presents itself. But how do you parse that between market timing versus
this is what I love the all-terrain vehicle status of the financial order of operations. And I detailed this pretty handily in Millionaire Mission, and the fact that I consider when you're using the powder money of cash, meaning as a wealth builder, this is really a step 8 type thing. So if you think about all the 9 steps of the financial order of operations, is that after you've gone through the basics of, keeping yourself from making desperate decisions with steps 1 and 4, getting the free money from your employer, avoiding the high interest debt, then loading up, these tax favored retirement accounts between the Roth, the HSA, and then loading up those employer plans. Of course, 7, you're going to think about how you're going to use the money in retirement, but then you get to prepaid future expenses. A lot of times, we chose to use the diploma or the graduation hat on there because we're thinking about the kids' education. Sure. This might also be when you get into rental property, but also this might be when you start running a little fatter on cash. Because and I don't think it is market timing to the point. Look, it's opportunistic, but
right?
The 25% is going in automatic for the people. This is more of you have resources that are building in the background, like a good field general. You're trying to figure out how you navigate in the best way possible. Is this going to be more generosity? Is this going to be more investments? Is this going to be, hey, all of a sudden there's values disconnected from what prices are in the marketplace? This might be generational opportunities here to buy this building for my business, to do, this is how this is all kind of manifested in my life. And I just felt like, and that's why it's so detailed in the book, is that if we're not sharing these things, because I think financial mutants naturally think cash is trash. How often do we see financial mutants go the other way with it, where they're running cash so lean because they see it as we're just not maximizing our money. So I just wanted to flip that argument upside down and say, when you look at people like Warren Buffett, you look at some of the decisions we've made with commercial real estate, you quickly realize that there's another narrative, as long as you've done all the other things of steps 1 through 7, where cash can be an amplifier of wealth if you're in the right place at the right time with that precious resource that nobody else has, because they're running it so lean in those moments where the economy changes.
But you can't do that before you hit the 25%. You can't do it before you get to step 8. Like if you were going to, I think we did this a couple years ago. They did like a bracket with some of our phrases and stuff. And I think one of the winners, or one of the final 4, was always be buying. And that is what we feel like for most people out there. You should always be buying. That's what your 25% is doing. It's only above and beyond that point that it might make sense to build up extra cash if you have extra liquidity for opportunistic type investments. It's not instead of the 25%. That's a fantastic point.